Everybody, we have finally made it here to the grand finals for the Lord of Lowtiers tournament, as it is going to be the side of Empyreal going up in the rematch against Reactor 9 Comica. It has been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, talking about incredible, that last match, the winners finals between these guys was incredible. Literally, I have not seen a hardpoint that close in all of my casting experience in this game. I have seen one close in a previous game, but that's beside the point. Super impactful, super incredible. 6-5 in both search and destroys. These teams, you could not separate them very much from each other, and it was literally a toss up that whole time. But I have it on good word from God Bowser that it's going to be a lot different this time around, Graph.
A lot different, and he's expecting a 3-0, and I think you were expecting a little bit of a 3-0 here, but a completely different map set. And I actually love this. Not completely different, but starting off on a Hydroelectric, which we just do not see the amateur community go to this pick very often. And R9, they're trying to pull something that they have deep in their strategy book here to maybe get that edge early against Imperial. But maybe this, 15, 20-minute break has cooled off God Bowser, and Imperial potentially looking to come on in and steal this one away from the side of Reactor 9, because both of these two teams, we know how equally matched they are.
Yeah, as for time to cool off, I would say Imperial has had at least double that because they've had to waste a whole other series. But yeah, so but anyways, so sorry. What was I saying here? Yeah, I like the pick of Mercado for Search and Destroy. Big shocker there from Imperial, by the way. The one Search and Destroy map they beat him on, we see it again, 0% shocking. But what's also interesting is the fact that R9 didn't ban it. Let's not forget that they did just have a really, really good time on that map up against their previous opponents. So I'm starting to think that maybe they're definitely thinking that as a fluke, and they're content to just let that one go through because they don't think that it'll happen again.
They definitely don't, but the one thing that was not let through, and it's about dang time, don't place Reactor 9 on a hotel control, and guess what? It's not there, and it's probably banned out from Imperial, as it's going to be Expo, and this is an interesting map, right? Is you allowed God Bowser to absolutely pop off, but on a map like Expo, where there's a lot of long lanes and open sight lines, he might not have that potential to drop that 40 bomb when it comes to that control. And it barely got them that W, right? It was close. It came down to the end. So I'm expecting this Expo to be a toss up, but in all regards, I think Imperial did the smart thing to take them on this map, because I mean, right now, the way that Reactor 9 is playing, it's tough to going to be able to beat them into control, and we might as well play a map that you really haven't seen either of these teams go up against.
Yeah, I don't blame R9 for picking this map, to be totally honest with you, because this map is one that is not very much played by everyone here. And if they have at least a little bit of experience more than their opponents on it, they will probably beat them. Because this map, it can be a little bit, it's more forgiving than Fortress at the very least, which is the map it's replacing in the pool. But it is still one where if you get full team wiped on the attacking side, you are in some serious, serious trouble of getting a spawn trapped. And so it can be a map where if you make one little mistake, then R9 can 100% punish you, but it takes a little bit of skill to get into that position, I will say. Going on to Hotel, not really too surprised. It's that is Imperial's pick. They looked pretty stellar on it the last series. And then Fortress, Search and Destroy. That one is always a little that one's always a little interesting. Wouldn't be too shocked seeing that one again. But I mean, let's not forget that the hard point for the last one, it's a little bit interesting one. So I'm curious about the Fortress as well.
In Reactor 9, they actually had a really good series, and that was against Cerberus, where they won it in the winners round two. They took them down in a 3-2, and it was a 6-1 on the map 5 Fortress. So they clearly know how they want to play that map. And granted, was the side of Cerberus all that good in Search and Destroy? You can't really say that much about it. They ended up finishing, I think, 1-6 or 1-7 on Championship Sunday, and that's just not going to get it done. And that's where they had, a middle of the day exit, because you can't win every single respawn. But going on into the hotel, that's the pick. if this series is not a 3-0 by either one of these teams, which it absolutely could be, then Hotel is the game decider. I don't see really this first series going to a map 5 just due to the fact that there's a lot of unknowns, and I think for the side of Empyreal, they might not win that Mercado, but I have a feeling they're going to take the Hydroelectric and they're going to take the Expo, and then if it goes to that map 4, they should take the Hotel. But again, you just do not know which Reactor 9 you're going to get.
Yeah, and so aside from all that, Graph, I want your personal opinion. How do you think this series is going to end?
Oh, man, this is a tough question, putting me on the spot. But in all honesty, I think Empyreal, they've had enough time to do their homework. And a Hydroelectric, this is a really interesting pick for me. R9, they're wanting it to be scrappy, but so is the side of Empyreal because they kind of feast on those moments, including Freaky and Kex. So I'm kind of expecting a 3-1 for the side of Empyreal, potentially a 3-0, because that Mercado, I mean, you just got a feeling it's going to go to another round 11 potentially.
You think it's going to be a 3-0 for Empyreal?
I do. I'm saying it, putting it out on the line right now, putting it on the table.
Now, I will see your 3-0 for Empyreal, and I will raise you 1-3-0 for R9. I think that, now, I will say that, I will preface it by saying this. I can totally understand why you think that Empyreal will win Hydroelectric. Kex is the flank master. He tries to do it all the time, and on this map, you basically can't stop him from doing it. But I still think that R9 will still out-rotate their opponents and beat them on Hydroelectric. Mercado Search and Destroy, it was literally a toss-up, and I think that I'm going to agree with God Bowser's assessment that they will not be losing it this time around, and that, in a 50-50 chance they will be winning the second chance. But yeah, map 3 Expo, I think that Reactor 9 will lock it down pretty well, and so 3-0 R9, as well as my rationalization as we get into this first map.
And I love the player chaos. We get to take a look as everybody, we have finally made it the grand finals. One of these teams is going to go home $1,700 richer. The other one just $700. And already here on the electric, it will be Cal opening up with the first blood as they're trying to find an opening onto this P1, but you got to play it safe. You do not want to give up those P2 rotations. And like you said, it's Kex. He is the flank master. This time, he will get taken down. So Reactor getting 15 off of P1, not too shabby as long as they keep getting it and putting the pressure on towards this P2.
And I think Empyreal is a little bit concerned with how much time Reactor 9 is getting here. They're dedicating a decent amount of people to trying to stop them from getting off of it, but the attempt is a little bit disjointed, and so that's opening Empyreal up for a little bit of a counterattack. They've lost control over Dome, and so Reactor 9 will be able to get the last little bit of this time, as well as a little bit of a cushion to push in onto Empyreal.
This is a really good setup from Empyreal, but maybe a little bit too close-knit. It all relies on God Bowser finding that first, and he does it. Daz is going to hop on in and actually deals away one kill, and oh, he might have ran out of ammo, so unfortunate for him, as it will be Kex hopping on in, but not for long as the nade comes through, and we were saying it was a close-knit setup, and this is what happens when you have when the first few players go down. It potentially allows the side of Reactor to break through the front, and that's exactly what happens.
Yep, Daz still going to go for this last-minute chow just to make sure that Reactor 9 does not tie them right now, especially considering how mixy this next hill can be. As you can see, both teams are going to be rotating for it already. That's Phenom versus DMAC on this rotation. Daz going to be on the next objective as well. God Bowser trying to catch as many people on the rotate as is humanly possible, because this hill is not one that, even if you set up for it, you can't set up for it enough generally. It is one that your enemy opponent is probably going to be breaking at some point, unless there is some serious difference in skill in my experience.
You pointed it out though, Reactor 9 has been good on the rotations this entire day, and once again, they're showing it right now, and guess who is showing up? It is Stunner, but my goodness, Daz is getting it, and this is a clean kill feed for 9 as Empyreal, they are kind of reeling right now. Nobody's even gotten close to the hill except for number 7, and he's just trying to cut off of any other reinforcements, and finally he will come on in, and that could be a big 25 of scrap, and guess what? The trades are there, and it should be going the way of Empyreal, but again, you lose out on the rotations. One player, though, you have to sniff out. It's Daz, 7 and 4. Can he make the play?
Daz in the block spot. Can he get it done? No, he will get found out in big block spot control there for Freaky, as I like to call it. Stunna is going to eventually contest him for this, but Freaky knows how important this spot is to hold, so he's literally just going to sit there, even if it invites a little bit of unwanted attention towards Kex, who's on the objective. God Bowser getting around the back, but Freaky, he's doing his job. He's going to cover his back very, very well. And now Reactor9 know exactly where he is. They're going to ask him some more questions.
And Stunna, he does pick up a Vaz, so has that potential at close range. DMAC, though, taking down Phenom, who has been absolutely incredible for 9. He's been one that shows up specifically in Search and Destroy and in the respawns as well. He finds a lot of those 2 pieces and gets those lanes to perfection. As Phenom, can he go big once again? Yes, it will be Kex, though, the player who saved them in the map 5 round 11. But again, the scrap time going to 9 this could be another one of those games where you can see it going to the clock.
Could very well be. That is how one of the maps went this tournament. Let's not forget about that, as Reactor9 are going for a pretty great flank through the bottom of the map. DMAC, the one who's supposed to be watching this, they have completely bypassed him. And so, yep, they're going to be finding him as well, breaking them out of those spawns. And they're about to get surrounded, coming at them from multiple sides. Callie, they know exactly where he is, but Kex doing a good job in the middle. But God Bowser will be finding him, and they will play the trading game effectively for God Bowser.
The setups for Empyreal are just too tight. They don't feel like they're getting enough map pressures. It just allows the side of Reactor9, once they find that opening, just to enclose around him and suffocate the life out of the rest of the players. But DMAC, he's doing everything he can to keep him on in. The contestants through Kex is there as well. And Stunna, can he go big? No, it's DMAC again getting the scrap. What a close game. And basically after this first set of rotations, it's going to virtually be tied. Reactor with a slight lead. And now number 2, it's going to be up to Stunna to hold on to this P2. And oh, he will lose it against Cal. So after that first set, you're looking good for Empyreal to maybe try to get a little bit of this momentum.
Yeah, big rotation here for Calamity. Really needs to be getting control over this dome side P2. Kex does fall, and honestly, Empyreal's not in an amazing position to contest the objective just yet, and they also lost their guy on P2, so this gamble, which looked really good, is actually being reacted to very well by Reactor. They're just sucking up all this hill time, and they're even removing them from the spawns because of their great AR presence and ability. So Kex and the guys, they're just going to have to bite the bullet, go straight in for the objective, take this time, and maybe get shot in the back while doing it, or shot in the front as well in the case of him. God Bowser still on the objective, doing a little bit of a dance of death apparently, as Kex and Freaky both falling to the amazing sub that is God Bowser.
God Bowser is on another level right now, 15 and 10. Unfortunately, was not able to secure the 6th, but Cal, hitting shots clean and crisp with that TAC 56. But now it's your turn to try to find this breaker, at least get a little bit of the time taken away from Reactor. Is Freaky the one finding the route? Will he get this opportune moment on it? And, oh, he comes out shooting, and he will find the player onto Daz. And this is the break that you needed if you're the side of Empyreal. But unfortunately, do they have the spawns? Not quite, as one more player will be left to beat, and they finally get it. That was a picture-perfect break coming on in from the side of Empyreal.
Yep, and just as one picture-perfect break comes in, another comes in and takes his place. Phenom got one guy left on the objective, trade out, going to be effective there for Daz, but oh, can't get the trophy down in time. Kex will be blowing him sky high, and so Stunna going to be all alone, 1v1 Kex versus Stunna, and Stunna will opt out of that one with his own trophy system, which is quite funny. But either way, Empyreal knocking on the door of Reactor9. This, again, is not a hill you wanted to be depending on for a whole lot of hill time and regaining the lead, especially if you're Reactor9 in the current map state.
And right now, it's finally the lead change coming through for Empyreal, and they're fully set up here on this generator room, as it's going to be the spawns, though, coming on in for Esports. Can they find this chance to break? His stomach immediately gets back down. Should get shot in the back by Kex, who comes in on the deep flank, but you have so many angles you're trying to watch, and you're not sure where this push is coming on in from. Cal has a lot of players and a lot of angles to try to cover. Can he find it? He jumps on over it. Oh, he will get one. Somehow stays alive for a tad bit longer, but still the break does come through. And this has just been a game of will and a square up. Nobody's been able to lock down a hill successfully for basically a good chunk of time.
Yeah, exactly why I prefaced this hill by saying you do not want to depend on it for a lot of hill time, which is exactly why Empyreal's keeping it so scrappy. They're in firm control of this, and they've made it so scrappy that their opponents can't even think about going to the next objective. God Bowser's going to try and do that now with, I believe, the water route. Yes, he's going to be going and resurfacing now and trying to find Cal in this back spawn area, and doing a pretty dang good job of it. Cal in the block area is going to be trying to just salvage something for his team. But they do not find him. Yes, just in time they do. And so Reactor9Esports will get the better rotation for P4 this time.
And honestly, that was so big by Phenom, taking down 2 in the middle of the map as well. So it allowed them to take their time and clear out that backside. As now it's going to be a push fully coming in from the front of Empyreal and Reactor9. They are fully set up for it. Stunna. Oh, goodness. He absolutely got stunted on right there by Freaky. Unfortunately, the rest of his teammates, or the rest of Empyreal's teammates, will fall, and this has been a good trail hill. And this is probably the first one you've seen a good chunk of time go to one team, and it will be Reactor being that favor.
Yeah, the first one in a long time. Reactor, they had some good starts, but Empyreal, they had some great responses, especially over on that last P2. P3 was pretty good for them as well, as they pretty much denied their opponents any time while getting a decent amount of themselves. Like 20 seconds is decent for that hill. And they're going to be rotating to this hill as well. This is picture perfect from the last rotation. This is a hill that they have depended on quite a lot for hill time. And so Reactor9 are going to be hard pressed to take it away from them. God Bowser's going to try and fail.
And guess what? Their setup is a lot more loose. They ended up having a few players come on in, and guess what? Now they lose the spawn, but it was so good to start that they all tucked themselves right back into this point, and guess what? It's going to allow that break to come through unless if Freaky can go massive. Not able to do so. Can Kex do it this time? As no, it's God Bowser still showing up, as it will be a potential lead change once again, as D-Mac, he is tweaking, looking left, looking right. He doesn't know where all the players are coming through. But Freaky, oh no, takes a nade to the face. And it will be the side of Empyreal getting broken, and Reactor should break that 200-point marker.
Good lord, the paranoia on this hill is off the freaking charts, dude. It's just a bloodbath, and everyone's thinking everyone's coming from everywhere. Just gotta be ready to shoot these guys. These prediction shots are just coming out everywhere. Empyreal going to be in a good position to get some time off of this P1. Reactor are quite split and have prioritized going for P2 spawns, and so they should be able to get at least a little bit closer to their opponents. Gotta be cautious of Daz in the water route, though.
And if you are Empyreal, I would say F it and just stay on the P1, because this is where you gave up so much time. It has been two reactors on the initial opening break and the second set of P1, so you just really need to shut them down, because you have a good opportunity to break on into that P2, but it will be Stunta again finding that opening still. They are keeping good middle of the map control right now, and this is exactly what they didn't do. And D-Mac on 5 in a row, and if he gets a streak, that could be a dagger, and he does. But God Bowser on the water route, he could find this opening. Can he get any more? But Empyreal, they did a great job on that P1.
Yeah, they did. They heard what you said, and they said, why not both? Let me take P2 spawns as well as a lot of time off of P1, and that is so huge. Great awareness from them that they're in a position that they can do that. D-Mac, cruise missile as well, just in case anything goes south on this objective like it's prone to. Can get out of jail free card. And so, Freaky, stuck on this objective alone, is going to be covered by a trophy system, though. Does get a little bit hit up, but Cal comes to his rescue. And so, just like that, God Bowser is the pinpoint here. Flips the spawns and looking to uproot his opponents from the objective. Freaky still going huge, but the trade is finally made, and the cruise might be coming in as well.
And they have that chance. They have that chance, but guess what? Stunta, again, holds them off. The reinforcements are still there, and you're waiting for this one chance. You only need 7 seconds. You can still fight for a lot of this time, and the nade comes through. X goes big. Cal is also there. It's another 1v1. Daz goes big. Can he hold it up for just a few more seconds? Oh, Daz!
Goodness.
Are you kidding me? He might have done it. He might have saved this game for the side of Reactor, and it's 1 second away. Oh,
yeah,
do not tell me it's going to be a 250, 249 finish again.
Oh, it's the revenge inning special. Reactor9 looking to do exactly their opponents what they did to them. You're not going to be wanting to rely on this hill for time, but damn well they're in this position. They have to win it. Kex coming up behind. A horrible grenade from Empyreal, but Kex gets on it, gets absolutely destroyed before he can even get a second of time. 9 seconds left. All that is necessary. Gotta keep Phenom alive on the objective. Cal coming in for the surround, and they will secure it. Well played from Empyreal.
Oh my God, we were having flashbacks of that last series, Kamoka. You saw it in the eyes. It was 249, and you thought that maybe this team could clutch on up. And I think you can see one of the players that was freaking getting a little bit of frustration there. But either way, they come away with the map 250 to 243. Again, you cannot start off the grand finals any closer than that. And we're going on to another rematch in the Mercado Map 2 Search and Destroy.
Crazy map 1. Honestly, I could definitely see the merit in them winning that map going in, but even I didn't think it was going to be happening up against a team that is that confident to pick that map like R9, but clearly they proved me and R9 wrong. Going back to Mercado, which R9 seems to think that they cannot beat them twice on, which, I mean, could be. It was only a 6-5 search and destroy the last time, and the reason they lost it was because Kex got vision on their rotate. And so that means that the one thing that lost them that game was just better intel from their opponents, something that they're usually pretty good at themselves. R9, I still favor them to win this one, despite that loss in the hardpoint.
I kind of do as well as Mercado. Like they said, it was a fluke. They don't think they deserve to get the L in that map 5 round 11, and you're expecting them to be able to bounce back. But again, Imperial, they picked it for a reason. They're also feeling confident on it, so you can never count them out. As we just saw it in that map 1, it got so dang close where it was like, how did that get to that point in the map? Is 250, 243 is nothing to shake your head at. And coming on into Mercado, like you said, it's all about that information game, and it came down to Kex really finding that rotation. He caught out 1 or 2 players, and he knew where everything was going. And we were kind of giving Imperial a hard time with them being too slow at getting the bomb plant down. In that final round, they did it, but they capitalized on it for the one time that they got it right in that instance.
Yeah, by that point, they had figured out generally how they want to be aggressive against these guys. And that is a great thing they're going to be able to bring from last series into this one. Because early on in the series, they were doing great, and then they got checked. And they were like, all right, well, how do we tone down our aggression while not being too passive? Something they finally figured out how to get done in the final search and destroy. I wouldn't say necessarily perfectly, but a lot better, and it was the difference maker for the win. And they even said it themselves, their confidence was a lot better going into that final search and destroy. We could see the confidence lacking for them in that hotel where they slowed down to the point where they literally lost the time, but that did not happen the same in this Mercado. So I think they finally flicked the switch. They figured out what they need to do in order to beat R9. And so maybe I'm changing my mind about which direction this 3-0 could possibly go here, Graf.
Hey, no change in your mind anymore. You were saying it was a 3-0 to the other way, and guess what? I'm still on track right now. No, I'm just joking. Hey, we all like to make those adjustments, and it's all about making those middle of the map adjustments too. We've seen it where teams go off to such a slow start. We see teams go down 0-4, 0-3, and guess what? They figure out how the other team is operating. They counter it to perfection, and it sometimes feels like you said, flipping that switch where those teams just get that edge at any single moment in time to be able to steal that search.
Yep, and I do believe we're going to be starting this one up pretty soon. Another big difference maker in this one the last time around was the utility, just the aggression as well. And so the fact that sometimes we had some of these guys not throwing down their trophy systems at the right time, or they threw down the trophy systems and the overload still came in, not getting a single hit, really stunted the attacker's attack. And so I'm looking to see if anyone will change up from the last time and try and keep a little bit more util going into after the initial merge on A.
And I would like to see Kex kind of pull out the sniper early in this map and maybe watch the middle of the map rotations or try to catch a player out from the side of Reactor. But oh my God, wow, what a shot that was by Stunna as he just rips Cal right off of the map, and already the numbers to the side of Reactor.
Yep, curiosity killed the cow, as they always say. And so, yeah, just peek an angle a little bit too long, you get shot up. Going for the perfect plant spot, but DMAC, if he peeks the corner, no one's watching this! Oh, so painful. Trying to get another one, but Phenom does shut him down, so the only people that can do damage are in the middle of the map. God Bowser's going to be past that and is on the angle where he could go for that pickup without being accosted by somebody. Kex is trying to get into a better spot where he can contest this angle from once again, but the bomb plant should still go down in the favor of Reactor 9.
And now you have Kex with an AR. He did have a sniper, so he picked it up of one of the bodies of his dead comrades, and he does have dead sounds to work with, and oh my god, he might have just read that perfectly and just maybe got bad timing. Can he take this one? And oh god, Bowser for a second thought he missed a few shots, but had him weak enough, and Reactor, they closed that round out. But to point out I don't know who it was challenged that for that second kill on the stunner, but he got him down to 9 HP when he shouldn't have. So a lot of egos coming on in and just maybe trying to find a cheeky double. And I think it was DMAC who almost had a double drop shot. That would have been nasty.
It was DMAC. And I mean, I totally get it for the first 3 rounds of Search and Destroy. It is all about ego checking your opponent, seeing what you can and can get away with, trying to get an early lead and see if you can just, you know, get your opponents to play the way you want them to play. Kex in the middle of the map with that sniper once again getting great intel, but god, Bowser will be the one that gets the first blood follow-up, greatly followed by Phenom.
And just another first blood for them, and they made it look too easy and looking to keep this one going in their favor, but Kex holding on in the middle of the map. He allowed Freaky to at least find one, but oh my god, the angles just being held by Phenom are unmatched as he's waiting for this last player and Freaky to poke on out, as he does have the bomb to work with. Unfortunately, really doesn't have the time or the numbers.
Yeah, probably thinking about where it actually is best to go. Probably hoping that if he doesn't show himself a long enough period of time, that his opponents will be lulled into a false sense of security and rotate, but clearly he has figured out that hasn't happened. And so he's just going to be sitting here, waiting, Phenom repositioning just in case he goes for the rechow. And so, as soon as Freaky goes out this window, or this door, he's going to be predicting the positioning huge, and he fries him as well, but the trade will be there, and Reactor 9 going to be adding another tally next to their name.
They're looking good, and there's a reason why they said, hey, pick this Mercado. It was a fluke in that round 11, and it's surely looking like, because these rounds haven't even been close. The setups have been on point. Not to mention, I can't believe how fast some of these players are dropping Cal in that first one, and then Phenom finding another player through middle of the map. I think it was Kex. They just are not missing, and this shows how much the side of Reactor 9 want this series, want their revenge against Empyreal.
Yeah, it seems that Reactor 9 are playing things a little bit differently in terms of their pacing. Not entirely too differently, but still to where Empyreal are being thrown off a little bit in their own pacing, especially Cal. Been dying first pretty much every single round, literally every single round so far. Kex finding one, though, gonna end that stat right then there with that sentence, and Daz will be falling shortly after.
And now you have a lot of pressure. If you're Kez, you don't necessarily need to get too aggressive, but Cal finds another one, as it's gonna be God Bowser trying to go big. Freaky, can he go and find another? Yes, he will, and it will be Empyreal finally getting a good bounce back.
Yep, like I said, I don't put too much stock in the first 3 rounds of Search and Destroy because they're still just getting to know you rounds. Like, are you still doing the same stuff you did the last series? No? Well, we'll make adjustments in order to properly counteract that this time. And so it appears that, yeah, they thought that if you notice round number 1, they thought their opponents were going to go for that same old play to B, and they didn't. Reactor 9 are making some gameplay changes. It's just taking Empyreal a little bit of time in order to acclimate to that.
Get a feel for that enemy team as they're starting to maybe do so here. And now coming into round 4. As, it's God Bowser. He's flying at him and gets caught with a nade in his hand. DMAC finds another one. He's been lights out in that AR for Empyreal. Steps up in the big moments, and he's truly shown it. But into a 2v3, Daz in another position to maybe catch 1 or 2 players out if they are not expecting this angle. But you have your teammate Instunna watching over, so all the pressure is over towards this site. And if you're Empyreal, do you really try to go and plant this one towards A, or do you maybe try to wrap it out through the backside?
Of course you do. They're putting Stunna off the angle, and they're trying to get Daz to where they can isolate him from Stunna. Huge suppression coming out from Empyreal and overloading the guy that's stuck behind the planters. So Stunna all by himself. Easy plant coming out here for Empyreal, trying to nade out onto one, but it's not going to be working out too well for him. And just like that, Empyreal, they've cracked the code early on, and they're tied up to Reactor 9 already.
And this has another round 11 written all over it. And like you said, that was beautiful. They were backing off Stunna, and like you said, they overwhelmed that player sitting behind that flower pots area and able to get a freebie as they put it into that 1v3 situation. And really, for Stunta, there's not much more you can do. Phenom still putting up a great stat line, 6-3. On the other side, it's the rest of the team from Empyreal all having a few kills, 2, 3, 4 across the board. And here come all the nades utilities as they are being thrown out. Will anything connect? It doesn't look like it, but it is, again, just going to be a gauntlet here. And oh, Cal somehow comes out with one and almost gets away, but his teammates clean up the rest.
Man, what an absolute slaughter. Kex looking to put the final bullet into Stunna, and he does, taking the lead emphatically. The aggression is back, and it is paying dividends for Empyreal. Kex literally running these dudes down.
And 6-3, great stuff come out of them. And maybe there was a reason that the side of Empyreal picked this map. They said, hey, this isn't a fluke. This is our map, and we're showing exactly why they've won 3 rounds in a row. And if you're the side of Reactor, you need those adjustments. Daz and Stunna have not been able to find anything for basically the past 3, so you're relying on God, Bowser, and Phenom still keeping you in this one, but it is just complete headbutts into Cantina. And Calamity, he keeps winning a lot of these first 1v1s.
Yeah, and this is a great change of pace from him in the first 2 rounds. Let's not forget, he was the one getting first blooded. Great job from Cal bringing it back once again, and now he's on a 4 streak. I always admire it when a player can just pull themselves up by the bootstraps and start being one of the best contributors for his team. Stunna on the flank, they've clocked that. They know exactly where he is, and Cal is watching it. God, Bowser, though, whipping out the sniper and going to be getting a pick onto DMAC. Bomb still going down regardless.
And this makes it manageable. God, finding that nade or finding that snipe, it's going to be so big. And you still feel like Stunna was maybe in the back, but it was a good read also by Empyreal. Oh, look at number 3. That's going to be Stunna, comes right through the middle, and he finds that opening. Now Cal, he has to go big as they didn't check the most useful angle, and it's a good retake. And guess who it was? Stunna and Phenom getting it done.
Yeah, huge play there from Stunna coming in from the middle of the map. Nobody, not a single person from Empyreal was watching that. They had the manpower to do it, but I guess they got a little bit distracted on some of these other angles, but great job from Stunna for taking that chance. And I mean, it literally made that play for them, as well as Phenom being able to get that immaculate spray transfer down. These guys taking down 2 at the same time.
And I don't know how, but Stunna, there was a nade that landed and blew up one of the cars right next to him. He got hit down to 16 HP, and he was probably wiping the sweat off the brow and saying, thank God I came away alive, because if he didn't, that probably would have secured the round for Empyreal. But again, it feels like a round 11 is just going to happen between these 2 teams, and who's going to be able to get there first is the question, as Kexy's deciding to get a little bit more aggressive. He's going to challenge out, and he will find one, but short-lived as the trade does come through.
Yeah, it's a 1-for-1 trade, and you're slowing down the attacking side just a little bit. Technically, it's a 2v2 on this objective, which does benefit the defenders. As you can see, God Bowser is going to be watching for a rotator with the sniper, I do believe. DMAC knows exactly where Daz is, and Daz knows exactly where he is, but, I mean, that information is going to benefit one of them more. As you can see, DMAC, there's no way they're going to uproot him from this unless he completely fluffs his shots. He's got a trophy system here, and they've basically got no util left in order to get rid of it. Shot coming down in the middle of the map, though, and that's caused a rotate from his teammates, so he is quite literally alone here, but it doesn't seem like it matters. Rotate coming down here. Freaky gonna see one, and looking for another. Daz knows he's here, but does he expect it? He runs right into his path, and Freaky, that is a dead round potentially here. Oh, actually, Phenom finds the guy on the other side. Freaky, all he's got to do is run for the hills. He knows Bomb is down there. He's just going to wait patiently to see if he comes in his path in the next 15 seconds, which it looks like he has to.
And it looks like he's going to back up as Phenom. He's not going to take this challenge. Freaky, you just need to sit here. You don't need to do anything as Phenom. He's going to try to hop and get the bomb, but not enough time left on the clock. And what an angle, though, by Freaky. He hops right on top of those dumpsters, and you just were not expecting that positioning when Daz went out and tried to take that challenge. And it just feels like a lot of these players are getting caught out in these 1v1 situations a majority of the time. And I think if Reactor took that one a little bit slower and stuck together as a team, they might have been able to find that trade.
I mean, yeah, it's possible. I think they just didn't know what they had. They only had one guy left on the objective. They thought, oh, they're probably both there. There's no way this guy's going to rotate. But, I mean, hey, obviously Empyreal did. They've got a good little sets of heads on their shoulders, and they're going to see one cross. That's Phenom out of the way. No trophy system, but no util to throw at it either. They're going to try and catch him on the way out, overloading him, coming over the top. Kex is going to buy them some space at least.
Space, but he's not been able to play his life as much. He feels like kind of the Abizi of Empyreal, feast or famine, as he does go 1-for-1 as DMAC. Wow, beautiful snaking as he goes out, gets that information that Phenom's in that backside corner. But again, it's Freaky, puts himself in a good spot. The nade comes out, but God Bowser, I think he catches out number 8 in DMAC. I'm not sure where that snipe came from, but Calamity holding through the middle, and now Freaky, he might be able to find this player. He's going to immediately back up, and he might try to get this bomb down at A. As number 5 is going to be Cal, trying to hold down the middle as Phenom trying to get any sort of a angle.
This is risky, and he makes his presence known. Enemy right behind him, almost gets the turn and burn on a Phenom, but not quite. Cal all alone up against 2. Bomb down in the belly of the beast. Can he get it done? Answer is absolutely not, as Reactor9 going to be regaining a tie up against Empyreal.
And that was just a patient play, and like you said, it was a high risk, high reward, popping that dead silence. But I think if he went straight back to that alley, he should have been able to at least take one down with him. And he pre-fired a little bit too early because he saw just a glimpse of that guy. So shooting his shot a tad bit too soon. And if he didn't, they might have not have known he'd push right up to that and potentially could have taken another route to either get out or even go back and challenge that player in the back alley if he had that information. But Daz, 1 and 7, you need to start putting up a good stat line. But look at the middle of the map. It is wide open. 2 players, they are there, and Cal comes down from the top deck, and the nade will connect as well.
Great stun, and DMAC, he's stuck. He's in such deep waters. Daz trying to come around the corner and fry him, and he does. Actually, it's Phenom. Doesn't even need any help there. And Freaky, middle of the map, all by his lonesome. Going to try and catch this guy on the bomb plant. They know where he is now because of the nade throw, and now he has to go back into a fully manned Reactor9 squad. A little bit less manned now. God Bowser fluffing the shot as well, but Freaky, he doesn't have a whole lot of options. He's basically got to get the ace for the dub here.
And God Bowser, he's the safety net. He doesn't need to do anything. Just hold the middle of the map. As Freaky might try to take one of these angles and get one more on the board, but 20 seconds, you just do not have enough time left on the clock. Daz is holding it as goes out and checks. Easy reads for them, but a beautiful route taken from Reactor. Nobody held down the middle of the map, and guess what? They got free range over tunnel, and they just took and overwhelmed the numbers of Empyreal who are sitting out. And I mean, Calamity, why are you trying to jump out and ego one? You at least know one player's there. You didn't have the info that 2, and you're really taking a risk right there, just trying to go 1-for-1, and it did not pay off.
Yeah, I mean, to his credit, sometimes when you're this late in the game, your opponent expects you to make the safe play, and it takes them completely by surprise when you don't, and you just run them down. And that's something that Empyreal has gotten away with quite a decent amount of times to get the stun check, and so they know that Empyreal is making this as an attacking route. And so, Daz just waiting for someone to turn the corner, but Empyreal, they're not stuck into this one yet. They're not fully committed, so they can easily go for a rotate here. As you can see, Kex watching the middle of the map once again, giving them all the intel they need. This is how they won the last one, and it could be how they win this one as well.
And this is to get it to that round 11. And like you said, Kex is holding the middle of the map. But look at number 7. He's staying back as well. And that's going to be Freaky. And he's sitting in a very good position as nobody is over towards this B site. It looks like number 4, that is Phenom. He gets information that there's at least one. So maybe the jig is up. And you're looking at number 3. But my God, Bowser! The quick scope on point as he will take down Cal. And that could be the deciding factor.
Man, Cal just got absolutely bodied, and so did Freak. So Imperial, the play call is apparently not working out too well for them as God Bowser now has Overwatch on the bomb site. Kex in the middle of the map, looking to get some pistol whips on point and does actually get one. However, he's not even close enough to pick up the bomb, let alone get close to it with all the people in between him and it. So Kex, not really much you can do in order to win this round. Reactor9 are going to be winning this one once again due to the clock.
And it is, of course, written in stone, as now they said that was a fluke, and they were absolutely correct. They take a pretty good search and destroy from the side of Empyreal, and you're kind of wishing you had a few of those to get back because it was a lot of small mistakes, especially when I think Freaky, he had that bomb when he popped that dead silence round, and he absolutely could have gone and took the plant. Granted, he might have been a tad bit exposed, but he allowed himself to get too aggressive, tried to find those kills, and sometimes you need to play it safe and put the clock on the other team's hands and make them have to find you. You don't necessarily need to go hunting every single time.
Yeah, and once again, Reactor9 playing methodically a lot better than Imperial. It's why they won the first Search and Destroy, and it's why they win this one here as well. And so now we're going on to Expo. We have not casted a single Expo this entire one yet, and it's because of the reason that I feel like a lot of the players are a little bit afraid to play this map because it's new, and there are definitely teams that are establishing themselves as really good on this map. And so teams typically tend to go a little bit more for the hotel, what's more comfortable for them. But R9 picked this map, not too shocking. I think it would fit their playstyle of locking down their opponents pretty nicely. I've seen it be done where a lot of teams that are really good, have good experience in this map, keep their opponents spawning in the top left corner of the map on the defensive side. And so, yeah, I think that this, while it could in theory fit to the playstyle, the aggression of their opponents. If they get full team wiped, that's going to be the big thing, is if they get full team wiped, that Reactor9 probably will shut them down. If they don't get full team wiped, I think that, Imperial will probably beat them.
And it kind of comes down to Imperial banning Hotel, which is probably the smartest thing that they could do in these map vetoes, because it has been 3-0s, 3-0s all the way through, except for that losers final where it came to a 3-2. But those were hands down probably the best two teams on Hotel control was Providence and the side of Reactor9. So taking that out of their map pool is absolutely huge. And so you need to take the series lead again if you're Imperial, because you're going to head to a map 4. I believe it's Hotel, and that is really going to harp on the rotations. And guess what? Reactor9 has been on top of them, it seems like, all day long.
Yep. And I mean, let's not forget the difference of if Imperial wins the series versus if R9 wins the series. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you weren't here for the rest of the tournament, R9 did lose these guys in the winners final, so they will have to beat them in 2 best-of-5s. Imperial, it's not looking likely that they will take this one lying down, maybe go to a map 5, but I mean, obviously R9 has a little bit longer to go to their victory condition than Imperial, and I'm just wondering if they have the steam for that. At our time, it's 11 o'clock at night.
And a lot of these players have been playing since, what, 10 a.m.?
Yeah,
so they have been going for, 12 hours. A COD is going to take a toll on your body physically and mentally. And it's a matter of who is juiced up, who's got that G fuel going through their veins and making sure they have enough energy to just go home and be the grand finals champions of this Lord of Lowtiers tournament. Is everybody, it comes down to just this one series. Reactor, can you get it to another best-of-5 in Imperial? You just don't want that to happen.
Looks like Imperial got a decent amount of experience on this map. They're going to be taken down 2 literally in record time. And so God Bowser is trying to go for a little bit of a flank, trying to be tricky on these guys. Knows that Cal is at least somewhere up there, delegating that responsibility to Daz. As now it seems that they're getting control back a little bit here. D-Max somehow managing to avoid punishment from Stunna there, and A and B at the same time, both being capped.
The one player you needed to step up, it was Phenom, and he comes up with 2 in the feed, so maybe allows a little bit of the middle of the map to open on up. And D-Mac, he can feel that pressure. He can feel the presence of one, and that stun out. Beautiful read. Kex also there with the assist. This should be the B site going down, as there was one player on the outside, and he decided to kind of play it a little slow, as it will be God Bowser, and he gets taken down. Still, if you're on the side of Reactor, you're leaving ticks or at least 3/4 of a tick on the board. Finally, they go to drain it, which is about time, but they were not at it at the beginning, but 2 kills go the way of Empyreal.
Yep, and with Cal on the flank, this could be deadly. Unfortunately for him, God Bowser spawns very close to him for the retribution kill. And so, Reactor9 are still in a good tenable position to hold off this attack from Empyreal for the time being. They've even got Daz stuck in up here up against Kex. DMAC can be falling in a really key position here as well. So this push for Empyreal looking a little bit harder and harder to make, especially with Daz winning that 1v1 up against Kex. They do have quite a considerable amount of time left here, but they're going to have to start making some progress soon, especially if they want to avoid getting spawn trapped.
And they're kind of denying it, and they're finally getting that opening, and it's all due to Kex and Cal getting 2 and 3. And Kex, is he going to decide to maybe take a long route? He has enough time to do it with Dead Silence in the back pocket, and will he get caught out? He can feel that one player on God Bowser. Should find a free one. He absolutely does. And what do you decide to do from here? Is he still kind of just lingering in the middle of the map? Can he go in and find one more player? And again, he's going to go toe-to-toe with God Bowser, but he just has not moved up and got any map positioning. Stunta, his position is known, but he has the help of Daz watching over him. Kex again takes down Bowser, but still, it doesn't feel like it's really been helping them on the map. Finally, he goes back and raps with his teammates. They should have an opening here towards this A site.
Yeah, I agree. Good call to come back there from Kex. DMAC trying to zone off Bowser, but they're going through the top side of the map. This is the unfortunate thing. I was worried about that Reactor9 was going to be doing to Empyreal. It might have looked good to start off for Empyreal, but a few too many deaths and good positioning from Reactor9 has completely zoned them away from any ticks on A. And with 7 seconds left, it's not looking too good. Daz going to get bullied off the angle, but Phenom and Stunna are going to be there to pick up where he left off. But Kex going to be there at least to stop the clock, trying to buy his teammates some time, but not able to buy enough time as Reactor starting things off nice and solid on the defense.
And just a good bounce back for the side of Reactor is they're coming off of a hot map to win and keeping that momentum flowing, and you want to shut down Empyreal. You're predicting a 3-0, and both of our predictions are already wrong no matter what we're getting the map for. But I think this is more detrimental to Empyreal because you just cannot allow Reactor to get that momentum and going on into a hotel hardpoint. I don't like your chances because Reactor, when you have God Bowser roaming the middle of the map, he dropped 41 and 27 on a hotel control. Ran a little bit more of a different mode. I just would not expect it to be any different on the hardpoint.
Ooh, Cal getting run down. Already an interesting position of mounting here for Daz. He's going to look for DMAC, calling out exactly where he is. Going to be able to supply a kill here as well. And the stack on A is already happening. Daz looking to rip these guys out of their spawns. His teammates are calling out exactly where they are. And it seems that DMAC is none the wiser to his position. So this could be pretty devastating for Cal and Kex if he, yes, it appears that they are going to be getting found early on enough. And they will be getting uprooted from the spawns as well. Reactor9 showing them how it's done so far. Or maybe not.
And DMAC, again, he's bailing his team out in a lot of these situations as he is ecoing every single player. Look at him go as he slides on through. My man looking like John Wick with the AR is DMAC still going. And that's 3 in a row for this man, somehow staying alive. But it's the ticks of progression at B. There's only one player that can Daz fend him off, and he's having a great game, 11 and 6, as he will end up getting shut down. Kex, the only one in position to maybe find any of these players, and he actually does get one, so there's still a chance. Oh my goodness, a big 1v1 on the point, but the reinforcements are there. It should be B secured.
Should be is the key word, but Cal is going to have something to say about that, but not much to say. Instantly silenced by God Bowser, as now they're going to look to make a very crucial part of this, and that's extending through the middle of the map. This is something that Empyreal was not allowed to do, and it's something that can make it a lot easier to get to A, is not having to go all the way back from your spawn, forcing the guys that are looking to spawn trap you to backtrack. And it's looking pretty decent for Reactor, although they are getting zoned a little bit away. They can't afford to play the life game a little bit. They've got the time and the lives to play with.
Yeah, 1:45, so you can take a slow, methodical push, find those picks, get some good map positioning, and get yourself even a better setup as Stunna. He will take down Freaky and Cal. You're going to have a lot of players to deal with in front of you, and they might have the information that he's snaking up and down above them, but it is Daz winning one onto Kex, and this should be the A site slowly going your way, but Cal goes big, takes one down. He's immediately sprinting to the back of the spawn, and this could be the play, but again, DMAC with 2. He is the one keeping Empyreal in this game.
Yep, but there's a secondary victory condition for R9. Let's not forget, it's the lives, only 8 left for Empyreal, so that's only 4 extra before you start being dead forever. And so R9, they are still in a decent position to win on that. They've got a minute left to kill their opponent 8 times, basically. And when that number starts going down drastically, R9 will have a lot easier of a time of getting ticks as well. So it can really snowball here for Reactor9 if they can find Kex here for God Bowser.
And this is going to be the gunfight as, Kex and Cal combined for 2. So they're still keeping it in manageable numbers, but it's still a 4-life advantage for Reactor9. 40 seconds left. Daz gets taken down on the flank. That was a great read coming out of Freaky. And you're looking at the rest of the players from Reactor 2 are potentially going on a deep flank, but Kex and Cal, again, they get the numbers to just 1, and now the clock is coming into a factor for Reactor.
Yep, and Empyreal have the spawn trap location. They're literally spawning as far away as is humanly possible from this objective, so close from Stunna, at least forcing Freaky to reposition. Kex could be getting caught out up top here if Daz finds him, but no, Kex is positioned there for a reason. Gets him down to a T, and now Reactor9 are actually running out of lives, as now Empyreal do weather the storm just barely. They go tit for tat, literally exactly the same. Although God Bowser, 1v2, can't get off this objective, but still might be able to get it done. One down, so close there for R9, but Empyreal weathering the storm just barely.
My God, that got scary. That was almost a 1v4 as God Bowser tried to turn on the heat right at the very end, but not quite enough. It still feels like Reactor9 has been in the driver's seat for this entire control. It doesn't feel like there's really been too much for the side of Empyreal to be positive about. Yeah, they come away with that defensive round, but at what cost? It came down to a 1v1 when it should have ended a little bit earlier than that. Still, they're going to try to immediately go towards this A site, and they were not able to get a single tick of it the last time or even get close to the hill.
I mean, they might this time. Both teams have been trying and failing to get a tick on A, and this precisely this reason right here. God Bowser going to go around the back and look to just be a nuisance, do some delaying tactics, force their opponents to go out for B, which is exactly what Reactor9 wants. And Kex has been spotted up by Daz, not enough to kill him, but DMAC will, and so already Empyreal are getting B.
And they're going to set this triple stack up, and you really don't want to throw too many lives at this, and they realize it's going by so quick. One more player's going to try to peek on out immediately. He is shut down. So you have a little bit of an advantage. You have the info that one player is sitting behind you in the spawn as Kex. He will sniff out Bowser. That's a big kill as Stunna. He's going to play this one patient. So is Kex, and this could be the play for the side of Empyreal, but Stunna gets the read onto one. Will he find the player in the back coming in? And I'm not sure that he will, and it will be Kex finding that kill.
God Bowser still trying to find a kill here onto the approaching players. That's Cal and the guys. Can he get it? No, it looks like Empyreal are going to actually flip-flop the map on their opponents. Looking to go for something similar to what Reactor9 was looking at for their victory condition, but they just have a lot more of a way to go in terms of lives, although that can quickly deteriorate. God Bowser going to be falling now again. Freaky and the guys are really starting to stack some kills up, and with that, you can also open up an opportunity onto the objective. Got to be very careful of Phenom, though, and Reactor9 also spawning incredibly close to this objective in comparison to Empyreal. So it's looking like Empyreal is starting to fizzle out on this attack.
It looked like they had such a good opportunity, and that's a big 1v1. Oh, but DMAC! He gets two, one with the nade, one with the wall bangs, and that could be the chance. If you have a trophy, it's going to mean everything. And Daz, you're the only one in position. You need to win a gunfight, and he doesn't. Here comes the stack. Empyreal, all you needed was one good break, and they might have just found it.
All they needed was one good opportunity, and it goes from being attacked that's probably dead in the water to one that is thriving with life. They've almost got 2 ticks. That is almost double the amount of ticks that Reactor9 was able to get flying on in, but Kex wins against both of them. Look at this guy. He is something special, as now Phenom having to chow for him as well. Opts to go for the grenade instead. Safe play, dude. Respect. And so going to be taking down Cal as well. Another one looking for the ace all by himself. But unfortunately, he's going to get denied that by Bowser. Either way, resetting the tempo in their favor, looking to get the spawn trap rolling.
And Phenom, he bails him out with that triple. And not to mention, I love the play that God Bowser had. He just laid on to the point. He didn't need to challenge. He just allowed his teammates to come in off the spawn and maybe win 1 or 2 gunfights and allowed that stack to not come through as fruitful as you would like. But 2 ticks on A is a great start for the side of Empyreal. And now you put it in their hands as you need to find a few more kills. The time is running out, though.
Yeah, and losing one of your players like that is pretty much diminishing your impact on your push. It's going to be a 3v4 no matter how you cut it. Cal does find one, but Daz gets another one right on back as well. Time is running out, and oh, Daz shooting the wrong person, but now shooting the right person. Still can get this one done, as all that's left is Freaky, the only one that can contest, and he's going to get zoned out as well. So Reactor9, well, they might have had a little scare, at least take the defensive side again.
Oh, that was a scary moment indeed, but still, Reactor, they clutch up. They have the ices. They clearly know how they want to play the control, and it has been almost flawless beside that one chance they gave them. And guess what? They still made sure they weren't able to get the full 3 ticks. As you find yourself up, now all you need is 1 attacking round. Do not let this go to a round 5. But again, if it does, my Reactor... my money is going to be on Reactor.
My money will actually be on Empyreal, because if Reactor doesn't win this one right now, or if they don't at least get 2 ticks like their opponents do, they won't get the final defense. And we've seen just how easy it is to win defenses on this map. So it's really going to come down to this one. Will Reactor be able to respond in kind to what Empyreal did in the previous round, or will they fall flat and let Empyreal get the final defense, which is basically a guaranteed win, with how this has been going?
And Phenom, he's on 6 in a row, and guess what? You shut the rest of the players down. Freaky still has dead sounds to work with, and he does not want to challenge out. The glide bomb is in the back pocket, so that's one thing you got to keep in mind, is they're still finding a few of these players lingering in the back, but guess who it is? It's Freaky on 2 in a row. Not sure if he has his dead silence anymore. Might have ran out, but he does get hunted, and just beautiful awareness from the side of Reactor to sniff out that player, so it should be the B site opening up.
Ooh, rip D-Mac for that one. Now Reactor9 are basically uncontested going on in here. Freaky gonna try and crawl his way on over from the side door, but Stun has got that on lockdown. I do believe he is looking exactly there at this moment. Kex coming in from a different side and does manage to get Stunner. That's 2 down. And Hill is going to be contested. God Bowser Force instantly off of it, but there's another player there that he did not consider, and Kex will fall now as well. At the very least, they are really stalling out their opponent's door. They have less than 30 seconds left.
And they're doing a good job. As they should have that info. As I thought God maybe was about to steal that one away.
Oh, what a stick.
Kex. I don't even think that was a stick. I think that was a frame. Oh, and Freaky, he cleans it up. Can he get the 30? He doesn't need to. Daz is still in position to maybe take down this player, but Kex not able to get it done. Still, you have just been bleeding the lives from Reactor as Empyreal. They do hold just a slight advantage, but Daz is making the play 27 and 20. I'm not sure why Cal didn't get that call out, as he just immediately falls. But again, it's D-Mac who finds himself in such a good position to hold off.
Cruise missile coming in, and oh, it's slightly good, slightly bad, but still coming around the back. You've only got 1 guy on the objective now. Cal in a little bit of rough waters here, quite literally by the pool. Daz coming in along the side, sees him, angles him out, and now Freaky trying to get back in a good position. Does manage to get one, almost a stick on the other, but Daz will still find him. Either way, Empyreal, that was pretty decent of them in order to get them off of A. All they really need is to stop them from getting 2 ticks, and they're good.
And D-Mac, he's put up in a forefront position. Freaky takes care of the player in the back. A few ticks to come on in to get the players crossing, but you have 43 seconds left, and Empyreal, they're up 12-10, so not too much of an advantage, but you're just waiting, listening for any of these players on the side of Reactor, because this is basically their last push. If they do not find it, it could be over. And oh, beautiful read. Got able to find it, but Freaky is there on the technical trade as Kals puts himself close. As, oh my goodness, God, Bowser and Phenom, again, they will combine and get two.
Yep, and Freaky, that nade is so unfortunate. Tags him down to 20, making him one shot, and just like that, the stack is coming in from Reactor 9 as well. Empyreal, frantic, coming in here, diving into the pool, trying to get anywhere near close. 2 ticks have been gained, but that might not be all, ladies and gentlemen, as Reactor 9 are still power burning this. The desperation from Empyreal is unreal as they're getting killed upon entry to the site, and Reactor 9 will snake this attacking side away from them and win the map as a result.
And we are going to be heading on into a map 4 where you expect Empyreal to have a tough time, but you just cannot give enough credit. Reactor, they were so patient on their pushes, and guess who it was who popped off? It was Phenom, 29 and 21, but on the other side, Daz, 30 and 23, a player we have been harping has some of those like lighter games, turns up in the control, and man, he really stepped up to the plate and hit a home run there in the map 3 as Reactor 9 are 1 map away from getting a bracket reset.
Yep. The good news for Empyreal, though, is that this is the map that they won in the last series in the winners bracket, and this is also their pick. So if there's any map that they would love to play R9 on, it's this one right here. R9, they were moderately close to beating them, but they just got a little bit out-rotated and out-broken on some P3s, if my memory serves me correctly. And that was one of the major reasons that Empyreal was able to beat them. They just ran them down, beat them out with the aggression on a lot of those hills, and they just couldn't defend them on a lot of the money hills. And R9, obviously, they let this one through for a reason, so maybe they think that they can beat it out since the last time around, like Mercado.
Ooh, but yeah, it was a 250-173 on that hotel. Like you said, Empyreal, they just ran them down and took them to the ground and made sure they were able to secure that initial map 1. But now they are currently down in the series, and we've seen this like the last time because it was a 250-249 on the Albagro Fortress. But if you are Empyreal, I am not liking your chances going on into map 5, even if you do extend it, because guess what? The one time that we happened to cast the side of Reactor on Fortress, it was a 6-1. It was so easy for them. It was a flawless setup, and they really didn't need to do a whole bunch. So Empyreal, we've kind of seen it. They are a little one-dimensional when it comes to their search and destroy strategies.
Yep, but now going into this hotel again, I'm feeling pretty good about Empyreal's chances, but it's just if they can replicate their rotational ability to break P3, that's going to be huge for them. As long as they don't allow their opponents to get these strong setups. R9, they've been the team of strong setups. Their opponents have been the team that's been able to break those strong setups. But again, let's not forget, R9 is so close to just edging them out in that hard point on the last series. The one saving grace for them was that cruise missile. And let's not forget just about how controversial that was because of the game state, we'll call it. But yeah, so close to losing that one. Rotation heavy maps. I wouldn't put this one necessarily in that category, but R9, they seem to be pretty on their hardpoint game today.
They absolutely are, and they showed it there. They're unfortunately in that map 1, they weren't quite able to come away. I think it was what, a 250-243. Again, Empyreal, they clutch up in those hard points. I don't know what it is that they just hit that second gear, and the matter of fact, it's probably just Kex popping off as long, and not to mention Freaky just gets these unbelievable kills that should not be happening on the map. But it looks like a few of the players have stepped away for a bathroom break, and we are going to do the exact same. So don't go anywhere. Map 4 is going to be coming up right after this.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here once again on the Hotel Motel Holiday Inn with Empyreal versus Reactor9Esports. This could either be the beginning of a comeback or the beginning of the second series, and I am joined by Graf.
That is the biggest question we all have on our minds. Reactor 9, you heard it. God Bowser in the post-game interview from the losers finals. He is locked in, and I expect nothing less to come out here and for them to be swinging in the map wars. This is another rematch on this one, and Can Empyreal get the better of him again? As Stunna, he's just going to take up a few tags, but still, it's a lot of good time for the side of Reactor, getting some map control. As it is the P2 spawns in favor of Empyreal, but oh, DMAC!
Right.
The man starts off at 4-0, including the knife.
Let him cook, dude. He's been absolutely frying this entire series, and now he's slicing them on up. Very, very hard-fought P1, but it appears that Reactor 9 are going to be in slightly better positions, although Kex is going to push them to the test on that. One runs right past him, and he's going to look to take the fight up against Stunna God. Bowser taking down one. Kex has been spotted, but he's stunned him out. Coming in from the other side, Bowser, but Kex is ready for it.
Wow.
Turning the corner as he throws a nade. Huge for Kex, but unfortunately, there's just too many people on the rotation, and Reactor 9 will still get it despite Empyreal's best efforts.
That was an incredible play by Kex because he read the guy coming in from the backside flank. He had him stunned, threw a nade out into the field side or onto the street side, and Kex comes away with 3. When you need your young gun to step up, you call upon Kex, and he always delivers.
Yep, I called him a rising star for a reason. He is that guy. He's something special as he gets another 4 in a row, but unfortunately that's not going to be enough. No hill time being gained, but maybe that's by design. Freaky trying to bait him into a false sense of security just to get these last 20 seconds, which could prove crucial based on how that last one went. But Reactor 9, by proxy of losing that hill, will get a free rotation to P3, which could very well be a full 60 if they play their cards right.
And DMAC, he's doing everything he can to try to stay alive, but it felt like a few nades, cars exploding was a little bit too much to deal with, but Freaky on the off angle finds the kill, and this could be the chance, but a nade will be there. Kex, he's trying to look left, look right, won't be able to find much more than one. But Daz, he's holding down the kitchen, snaking his life away as he's looking to be the Gordon Ramsay here, as everybody is going to fly on through. The nades are trying to connect it. It will, but still, too many members. A good setup here for Reactor.
Yeah, he got killed for trying to tell this dude that it's a non-stick pan, but clearly it is. Got stuck with that nade, easily killed. Either way, Kex coming up around and snaking like an absolute champion right there. Empyreal getting firm control of the objective, even though Cal has yet to get a singular kill on the board. That's the most impressive thing.
They are up in the scoreline and probably going to get to a 40-point lead. And like you said, I didn't realize Cal hadn't find it. And oh, we gave him a little bit of a caster bump there. One of the few times you'll see ever on stream. As they also get their rotation. And my God, Empyreal, where have they been coming on into this hardpoint? Because ever since that map 1, it feels like they just haven't necessarily showed up. And Kex, he is lights out. 13-6. He's looking, or 13-5, looking to go 14, hunting one more player down. Still, this time is going to the clock. Bowser stays alive, but you do not have the spawns, and still, it's the reinforcements coming on in from Empyreal.
Yep, Daz in a really tough spot. Enemies besetting on him on all sides. What can he do? Not too much up against both Freaky and Kex, and so Reactor 9, they're getting funneled, but that's not necessarily a bad thing as Phenom takes down both Kex and Freaky. Their front line is down. And Cal starting to heat up a little bit. 3 kills now instead of 0. Is going to get naded out, unfortunately. But again, Empyreal with these spawns are going to be more likely to get this hill time. But Phenom, he doesn't really care about that. He just wants them to not get any more of this hill time while his teammates watch the rotate. And damn all they do. Freaky on the rotate will be getting absolutely evaporated by God Bowser. And a constellation 4 seconds being gained by Phenom.
I'm so confused by some of these chows that Empyreal are taking. They literally just fly out the front of the hill hoping they can take some of these gunfights, and that's just not the way to go about it. But you don't win the rotations, but you still are taking those gunfights. And guess what, Empyreal? They're back on into this hill, and if they hold this one off, they could really run up the scoreline. Number 8, that will be God Bowser taken down. And this is looking a little scary, but oh, the break might be coming on in. Phenom, can he go big? Cal, he started off 0-6, now 5 in a row, and he's looking for his own glide bomb.
Talk about a comeback in a very short amount of time, and now he does have the glide bomb. You love to see stuff like that. Almost another. That would have just been the cherry on top of a beautifully delicious ice cream cone. But either way, Empyreal, they are going to be looking to get these spawns here as well. With Cal in that position, they're likely to get them. All they really got to do to guarantee it is to take down Daz, and Cal will do that for them as well. Really starting to pick it up as he's now 11-9.
I can see why Empyreal picked this map, because they are outclassing Reactor 9 right now. It doesn't feel like anything is going their way, and if they get this full hill, I mean, you can already chalk this up. We're going to game 5, but D-Mac with 2. He is snaking his life away, and he's taking a little bit out of the playbook as that is a triple coming out of this man. He's looking for the quad, and oh, he will get it before he goes down. And just great stuff coming out of D-Mac. The individual plays from Empyreal, this is what is scary with this team.
Yeah, Kex just absolutely destroying Daz inside the bedroom here as well. God, Bowser, he's about to be surrounded, and he knows it. Got nobody anywhere near him to help. Phenom trying to change that, come around the back. But Kex, oh my God, please! These people have families, bro! But either way, he is just doing what he's got to do. Kex doing Kex things, 22-11 at the end of the first rotation. He's on track for another 40 bomb.
And everybody, I apologize if somebody's watching with small children because you are witnessing a murder right now on this map for it.
Yeah,
It's just too dang easy. Empyreal, it is just an all-white kill feed as they are just stomping Reactor9. They said, hey, you might have got us on that map 3, but guess what? Map 4's has been ours, and they are just not slowing down.
Yep, Reactor9. They're going to still keep trying, though. They're on the objective. Instantly taken back off by Kex, who does now have a cruise missile. But, I mean, they are quite far behind, but I've seen teams come back from a lot worse. Believe it or not, even on land. But they have to be hitting shots like that onto a stunned Cal, unfortunately. And so now Empyreal getting a lot of the last little bit of hill time here on P2 as well. Stunna not in a position where he can even break the spawns either. So Empyreal really setting themselves up greatly for success.
This is the confidence we have been missing from them coming out of that map 1. They got a little dicey, but guess what? It's Daz in the back to maybe try to slow the push, but they are still getting a lot of this time. Kex is 26-14. Maybe one break to come on through, and guess what? It will be Stunna. We haven't said his name much on in this map 4, but finally, Reactor, they get a break, but they need quite a few more if they want to come away with this map.
Yeah, they need a little bit more than one break, unfortunately, but this is obviously a step in the right direction. Their opponents, the longer they go without time, the more they may freak out, and the more their opponents might get to them, and the more they might start shooting bodies in the case of Stunna. That's a little bit of a wink to what happened earlier. Cal, a little bit weak, but his teammate is going to make sure he doesn't get counter-challenged and killed. In the meantime, Daz is literally the only one on this P3 rotation, and he's got 3 dudes barreling down the way towards him. How good can he snake? Apparently pretty good, but he's going to have to do even better to beat out the rest of these 2 dudes.
And it will be Stunna coming on in for the quick side flank. So he does enough just to delay this push. And now the trophies come down. And this is maybe a chance for the side of Reactor. Granted, still a long shot. But we've seen it time and time again. Unfortunately, D-Mac, he just rips the legs right out from underneath Freaky. And right now, Reactor, they have maybe found an opening. They're starting to stack this hill a little bit more. God, Bowser heating on up. He is 13-25. The only player that is positive is Phenom. Daz not that much farther behind. Still, they are holding this one strong, and if they get it for the last 30, you are in striking distance to be right back into this game.
Yeah, and it seems that Empyreal is looking a little bit less and less crisp as this game goes on. D-Mac is going to be able to finally get that kill, and with that, they will get ever so closer to winning. All they really need to do is break every single last one of these hills, get 10 seconds off of the amount of hills that are left for Reaction to get even close to 200, and they will still beat them out. That is how far of a lead that they have. But all they got to do, but Reactor, they're not going to be content to just give that to them. They're going to shell these out to the end.
And if they somehow come away with this victory, it would be 20 point comeback for them. Or maybe just straight 110. That would be impressive to say the least. Is now a few shots starting to hit really well as Phenom. Is he able to stay on the point? But no, and finally, who is it? It's Kex. You needed a player to step up and say, hey, let's just close out this game. This is getting a little bit too uncomfortable because it's gone on for far too long. Calamity as well, 22-18. That's 3 members down. 1 more left. It's Phenom, and he's the difficult one of the bunch to be able to find a free kill on. As he's still trying to push it, but 242. This is looking ever so close to a map 5.
It is, and they will not be able to win it off of this hill, and they're nowhere near the rotation either. They're going to have to chow this one out to the end, which is okay, but ooh, getting caught in the middle of the map, that's not great for Phenom, but Daz is still there, and he wins a big fight up against DMAC, but unfortunately for him, Cal is close and ready and willing to pull the trigger on this guy. Teammates now following up for Reactor 9, DMAC alone, and they are going to be zoned to the opposite side of the map.
And this is a good spot for the side of Reactor. They can have a good hill, and now they invest that glide, and that could be it. This could be the chances. Now you have the numbers going to your favor. Can God Bowser go huge as he finds one, not able to find another, as it will be Freaky. Flipping on into the hill, grabs two, and now he should be able to close it out with a few help of his teammates, but who is it? Again, Phenom, he's doing everything he can to keep them into this game, and now it's 15 seconds left on the clock, and if you are Reactor, you have to rotate. You're relying on this one player in number 7, and oh, they might have just let him slip on buys. Reactor, they're closing the gap with 5 seconds. It seems almost inevitable, and two players go down. This should be it.
Oh, unless Daz can pull off a miracle, but Nate is not in the correct spot, and he will not be able to mantle fast enough to get the contest. So Empyreal will push this into map number 5 from their best map.
And of course, guess what? We get another map 5 against these two teams and going into Albagra Fortress. I'm feeling pretty confident if you are the side of Reactor 9, as they took it the last time in a 6-1 fashion. Phenom still putting up incredible numbers, but when you have playmakers like Kex and DMAC, he has been a superstar to keep them into this series. Empyreal, they take both of the hard points, but can they steal one more search and destroy to go home $1,700 richer?
Honestly, man, this is too close to call. So many contributing variables to where I'm not really sure what I want to say going into this one, let alone caster cursing somebody. I'll just say the good qualities of both these teams going into this one. I feel like that's safe. So, yeah, going into this map, Kex and the guys, they're really good subs, and if you can get up close and personal on the attacking side, you can really zone off the enemy snipers and ARs on the double doors and get some good plants going on that way. Wouldn't shock me if that was the idea for them, because Freaky and Kex can probably both easily get that done. They're pretty aggressive, and that does typically be rewarded when you're on the defensive side as well. If your opponents aren't paying proper attention, they're trying to go for too fast of a hit over onto the gallows site A, and you just get caught a little bit lacking. Flank comes around for Kex, who loves to flank, and he shoots you all in the back, and you're all done. So, yeah, I see a lot of good qualities coming out from Empyreal coming into this. Their opponents, however, very calm, very methodical. They will not take any really stupid challenges, and they won't really get caught out too much, and they can play the time down very effectively as well. So based on both those things, it's a toss-up to me, man.
It truly is. In Reactor, their only search and destroy they have dropped, guess what? It was in that winners final in that round 11. So you can tell this team, they are ready and locked and loaded to get on into this final map. But this comes into play. Again, a lot of these players have been going for 12, 13 hours of Call of Duty straight. And this is the moments that, again, you live for in the winners final. It was Empyreal clutching up. They were down 5-4 and they ripped off the last 2 rounds. Can they make this one look a little bit more dominant and, like you said, get that cherry on top of the ice cream cone? And I mean, it will be that much sweeter to get it done in this first one, because you do not want to have a bracket reset against Reactor 9.
Yeah, the bracket reset, I think, would definitely put a little bit of a dampener on the mood for Empyreal, but obviously we've seen these guys, we've had them in an interview where they told us they did get a little bit down on themselves in that search and destroy, that map 2 search and destroy, but they do have the ability to come back and be like, all right, guys, here's what was wrong. We were just lacking some confidence. We were lacking, yeah, pretty much the confidence is exactly what he said. Basically the only thing. And they pulled themselves up by the bootstraps and they pushed themselves on through. And since they have the ability to do that once, I would say I'm going to go out on a limb and say they probably have the ability to do it again. And so I don't think this will be necessarily the end for Empyreal going into, if this does result in a bracket reset. It really just does depend on the maps.
It truly does. And Fortress, this is a good pick for the side of Reactor is, honestly, can we go back and take a look at the bracket here real quick and just show the journey, how everybody has gone through as you've seen it for the side of Empyreal. They were the #1 seed coming on into it, a 3-1, 3-1, and then a 3-2, and have been sitting in the grand finals. And very similar, Reactor 9 all the way through a 3-0, 3-2, and then lose a 3-2 and a 3-0 in the losers and find themselves right back. So the #1 and the #3 seed, they have finally made this journey here, and we're already loading on into the map 5. Kamika, what is your prediction here coming on into the Fortress?
My prediction, I'm not going to say who I think is going to win, but I think it is going to be 6-4 in the favor of the team I think is going to win. But either way, Empyreal making a fast play to A. You see they got DMAC trying to play the close quarter on them, but Kex getting caught in the middle of the map, unfortunately for him. That will be putting them a little bit down in their ability to get A.
And right now they're taking it as slow as they can and still trying to get position, but like you said, it's going to be that much more difficult. And Dazzy holds on to the nade in a beautiful one to land a few shots there to boot his Cal. I don't think he's going to be ready for this one player sitting in the corner. That will be, I think, God Bowser is Phenom. He smokes freaking right off the map. And guess what? Bowser, he pops out and will find the kill. First round on the board for Reactor.
Yeah, perfect start for them. I don't think a single one of them died in that round unless one died off screen I just did not see. But either way, they just seemed very ready for their opponent's aggression. That's been the name of the game from both these series now for Empyreal. They just get as aggressive as humanly possible. But on this map, you can be very punished for that if your opponents are expecting your aggression, because there are very few avenues you can be aggressive from on the attacking side. I think Empyreal would probably be a little bit better suited if they tried to go put Kex or Freaky, whoever with the sub on those close angles on double doors and try and get control like that.
Couldn't have said it any better, my friend. Is right now it's going to be the defensive setup, but look who is getting a little cheeky. That's Bowser. He's thinking about it. He's checking out those windows. He's like, hey, I might have an opportune moment here. DMAC immediately gets backed up, but I love this. He's not allowing it to hold him back, as it will be, though, Stunna to go big, finding another first blood for Reactor, and they are just taking their time. They're finding those first bloods, and wow, I don't know where Cal got the shot from, but beautiful stuff as he gets it back to the 3v3.
Yeah, coming through the middle of the map, though, is going to be Phenom. Seeing if you can get any solid crossfires down on these guys. Hoping for a pick onto Cal, especially. That would be nice. And there you go. Pick onto Cal. A Freaky response with a solid snipe. Nice nade coming out. And it is a 1v1 situation. Knows the final guy is somewhere behind him. And Kex is trying to snake once again behind this horse statue. Spotting out his opponent, expertly dodging the bullets. Coming out over the top is going to be Phenom. He's in a little bit of a bad spot tactically, and Kex will out-heady him for the win.
And that's a 1v1 superstar god mode, and guess who does it? It's Kex. Again, when he needs to go big, he delivers. Once again, you do not want to be down 2-0 against the side of Reactors. I mean, they kind of steal away that round from them because they had a chance, but the awareness from the man in Kex allows the squad to go huge and find themselves tied on up. And now you're looking to maybe bounce back here on the A side. Will that grenade connect? But no, but Trophies hit early, so this will immediately back up the side of Phenom.
Very slow push coming out from Empyreal characteristically, in terms of how they normally do, excuse me. Kex still seeing if he can find a distraction or a kill in the middle of the map. He has attracted quite a lot of attention his way. So much so that no one is even really watching the bomb site, but that's not a problem because DMAC seems to be rotating towards the middle of the map. Kex has gotten himself on a little bit of a different angle as well. DMAC looking to go just for the default plant. They've got angles watched on all these doors, so, I mean, at this point, they just got to go for it, man.
They have to, and we kind of talked about how Empyreal, they're so slow when getting these bomb plants down. They try to make sure that it's perfect, but that's never going to be the case. And a beautiful nade is, wow, Reactor, they held on to 2, and now they will take one player down, but the bomb will get planted, and you have a 4v3 retake, but it's all about taking down Kex. He's going to be the deciding factor here. Is, oh my goodness, Freaky has to back up, and he somehow scurries away. Freaky, though, with a quick snipe. Oh, and another one.
Freaky is so nasty, dude, I swear. Coming on in, though, is going to be Stunna, turning it into a 1v1, but Freaky, he's shown that he's got a hot hand with a sniper rifle, but will he properly expect where Stunna is going to be coming from? He's in the middle of the map, and he has to give credence to that. Just trying to run him out of time and run him out of health points as well. He does. Empyreal now taking the lead.
And again, just the patient plays come on in from Empyreal. Freaky, he knew he made him have to chase him down. Either way, I think if he found that kill, it wouldn't have mattered. It would have been a little bbit too far of a hike for him to get that defuse. But again, Freaky with 2 snipes. How crucial is that for the squad? DMAC 0-3, but Empyreal, they find themselves up early. And you just want to take down Reactor9. Do not allow them to get any momentum as they are getting aggressive towards this A site. And I love this. The confidence comes through, but unfortunately, so is God Bowser. And, oh, maybe a little bit too aggressive as Freaky at least gets 1.
Nah, it's worth, dude. It's straight up worth for him to die for that. I mean, if he found Freaky as well, that's basically a slam dunk in the round. Freaky going to be zoned off by that nade, and so Reactor9Esports will be getting out of that scot-free, basically. Freaky, it's one thing to defend with a sniper. It's another thing to have to take a chow with a sniper, especially with Phenom on the rotation. I think he spotted Kex as well, but either way, he's looking for Freaky. He's going to find Kex, though, almost. Going for the counter chow, ambitious, but he does at least enable Freaky to get the trade-out kill, making things slightly easier in this 1v2 situation.
I think if you're Freaky, you don't need to try to go for the defuse. Just try to earn that glide. That's the biggest thing, especially on a map like this is, ew, he's going to not guess correctly, and he loses it at 5 in a row. Reactor, a good bounce back, but it was God Bowser finding that initial double that allowed them to get that bomb plant down. And like you said, that is a big round for the side of Reactor.
I do agree. And so what I'm expecting, again, from Empyreal is to go for that tried and true thing I see people do when I cast challengers. And when I watch the pro scene is typically when you attack on this map, you send one of your subs close to those double doors. I will refrain from saying that once again. I just think that eventually Empyreal is going to be doing that. They do keep looking for these kills in the middle of the map, which sometimes come, sometimes don't. And so I think that they could definitely benefit a lot from methodology that Reactor9 has been showing. And now, Kex looking for a little bit of something in the middle of the map, potentially. No one quite looking his way right now, except for Stunna, but Reactor9 pretty much got all their angles on lockdown. This is textbook defender play.
And this was what we kind of saw the first time of the day. And yep, Kex gets that information. He's just going to immediately back down number 6. I love that. But Freaky, he opens up with a sniper again. And he's been finding those moments. Kex takes down Bowser, realizes the aggression is there, but Cal immediately finds another player, DMAC. Oh, wow, Des. Some good shots from this man, but a 1v3, 27 seconds left. I mean, you just really don't have much left, and Empyreal, again, they're just hold that slight advantage as they take another round.
Yeah, Freaky is starting to really have some great impact on this game, giving some great overwatch to his teammate as soon as he goes for that bomb plant. As soon as someone goes for the chow, he takes his head right off. And that sets a precedent for your opponent. You have to beware of Freaky. He doesn't even have to get any kills from this point forward. The fact that he's gotten kills up until this point is enough for them to give a little bit of pause, like, maybe I don't want to be chowing out Freaky. He's 7-3 with a sniper rifle.
But then you look a few players down, and guess what? DMAC 0-5, and he had such a great start. And again, they're doing it. They're going so aggressive, and guess what? They're getting caught out. Calamity will go down as Kex, he gets tagged up by the nade, and he should drop as well, and he absolutely does. So the aggression from Empyreal, again, it is not paying off, as Reactor have done a great job recognizing this is how this team wants to play, and they keep shutting them down.
I mean, I respect the attempt from Empyreal. I've seen many a team just be getting a little bit too caught up in it and not stun open that door, do their due diligence, and watch the cross like that. Unfortunately for them, Reactor9 always does their due diligence and watch the cross, killed all of them in the process. And so Empyreal, they're probably not going to try something like that ever again, or maybe they will, because since it hasn't worked, maybe it'll be even better this time. Freaky, unable to spot the guy, get the kill, and Reactor9 are going to be able to get a pretty characteristically easy attacking side.
Oh, and do you sense it? Do you feel it? The energy coursing through everybody's veins. Everybody's heart is pumping. A potential round 11 again. And if you are Empyreal, I think if you take another offense, don't get aggressive on your defense again. Try to switch it up. We don't want to see that because you are getting shut down left and right. Play it slow because that's been the name of the game for them on the offenses. They've been finding a few of these picks and they've actually gotten blooded. I want to throw this one out here. 5 out of these 6 rounds, but finally, coming to the 7th, it will be Cal and Kex to get to.
Yeah, Reactor9 trying the exact same thing that Empyreal just did, and it goes just about as well, meaning it goes pretty bad. But at least Phenom is going to be here delaying their push towards the bomb, and he is forcing them to come his way. Unfortunately, there's just a little bit too many people shooting at him in order for him to win that fight, so Empyreal are going to be able to regain the lead.
And DMAC, that's just a confidence booster, and he missed quite a few shots. Oh no, he actually hit a majority of them, but still a little scary in that moment because I thought he maybe was going to catch that player running away, and then the ego would have came on out, but still, they secure it, and I pray to Lord, switch up your strategy on defense, Empyreal. Just play this one slow. Maybe even go for a 4v4 retake because clearly the aggression is not quite there. Or maybe switch it up to the other side or in the middle of the map. And guess what? They slow it down and say, hey, yep, we are going to learn 2 times, or the 3rd time is a charm.
Yeah, 0% shock from Empyreal. These guys, they know better. They're the kind of team that'll try and get away with it once, but trying to do anything more than that, they know it'd be throwing. So what they're going to do is just go for the tried and true method, holding it down, trying not to get picked, and then going for the retake. And I'm sure a lot of them are going to be saving their util as well so they can nade the guy off the bomb plant as soon as he gets that thing down.
And they might not even need to as they have a little bit of pressure here, but Freaky actually gets caught out. Can DMAC go big? He ends up finding one, and oh, I thought one player was maybe coming out to challenge him in that close corner, but Cal takes down one, and now you're in a 3v2. And look at number 8. He has to somehow stay alive. That's Stunna. He needs one more of his teammates to stay alive. And oh, DMAC guns him. And now you can just hop the defuse and play the back and Cal. That's exactly what you needed out of the side of Empyreal. And they're going to put themselves on match point and 1 round away from becoming the LAN champions of the Lord of Lowtiers.
Well done from Empyreal. They're on land point right now, my friend, and I mean, they absolutely deserve it. That play right there, immaculate retake. They may have lost one going into it, but I mean, Cal especially. I think he got, what, 3 kills in that round, or maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, but either way, that retake was great. Catching Stunna on that head glitch, huge. Would have been really hard to win that round without that kill. I think it was actually DMAC doing that. I want to give the proper person credit for this because yeah, that was just huge. He was able to kill one and follow it up onto another one in the close palm tree area. And so, yeah, Empyreal now looking to shut this one down as their opponents now know to fear the sniper.
They know to fear it. No one has actually picked up the bomb, and finally it will be DMAC. And are they thinking about going to B? It doesn't look like they're still trying to play for any type of information. Kex, he's sitting there. This is just a standstill. And if one player gets a little bit too frisky, in particular, that's going to be, who is that, number 7, Daz. He wants to peek this so bad, but Freaky, is he holding the right angle? Is the bomb is gonna maybe go down and feeling the pressure? Daz, is he gonna try to make a play? And no, he immediately backs down. This could be the LAN coming down to this final one.
This could be it. Bomb plant and easy out for Empyreal. They did that so well. God Bowser catches Kex in the flank, though, so they will be down an extra player. Don't know that Freaky's there, though. He could pop up at literally any time. God Bowser, in the meantime, coming around the flank, but Freaky with the pistol whip does utterly annihilate him. God Bowser and Daz alone up against Freaky. He's in a really rough spot, hoping that someone comes into his line of sight, but Daz will come from a different side, and Reactor9 will weather the storm and survive at least one more round.
Oh, and what a retake. You could feel it. Everybody's holding on to their breaths as we get another round. And Kamka, I just want to point out, you called this. You said it's going to be a 6-4. You weren't predicting a round 11. And I mean, well, you didn't tell us who you thought was going to actually win it. But if it's Empyreal, I swear to God, you son of a gun, you are just too clean with it. But we are here. The round 10. everything, the pressure is on everybody's shoulders. And if you're Empyreal, you want to drop that pack and go home with $1,700.
The LAN is on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Empyreal can end this right here, right now. If not, we'll be here for another hour. And from there, it's uncertain who will win. God Bowser looking for a kill. Cal hugging that window, waiting to see if he can find a great opportunity to kill God Bowser. Nade coming out, knows someone's there, but he decides against it. Reactor9Esports playing very slowly. They know what's on the line, and they know what a mistake will mean here.
And D-Mac, he gets spotted. He's just pre-firing, making sure that he does not go down early. He backs up these players, but a nade from Cal. And that's the first blood that it could seal, and it's going to cause a lot of pressure. Phenom knows he has to make a play. Can he win this gunfight? He gets challenged, and D-Mac, he will get it 2 kills away from being able to go home the champions, but the bomb goes down.
The bomb does go down, and with that, there is hope for Reactor 9, but that kill in the middle of the map really puts a lot on the shoulders of Stunna. He has to get the ace for the win. Empyreal know it. They're going to go for the defuse probably here, deciding better of it now, and just waiting for him to rear his face. They know they've done it, and they are bragging, ladies and gentlemen, justifiably so. You have your Lord of the Lowtiers right here in front of you, and that will be the end of this tournament.
And Empyreal, they are just giving a huge sigh of relief. You can see it. They're like, we have been playing for 13 hours. The stream has been up, and we finally close it out. And they said, Freaky was saying, everybody doubted us, right? We were the underdogs, but guess what? They went undefeated in pool play, and they went undefeated all the way through winner's bracket. Yeah, you get pushed to a map 5, but again, they showed the ice. And unfortunately for Reactor, you are 1 round away from potential, 1 or 2 rounds away from potentially getting a bracket reset, but Empyreal, they deny it, and they did not let it happen.
Yeah, super well played from Empyreal. From Hydro to Hotel to Fortress. They've won on pretty much every single map except for Expo today. So congrats to them on that. Very well-rounded team, and I could not think of a better Lords of the Low Tiers, I guess you would call them today, because there's 4 of them. But yeah, Graf, now all we have really left to do is interview one of these awesome players, a little bit of a look back for those of you guys that missed out. Empyreal starting things off nice and close on Hydroelectric, which was what R9 picked, but they were sorely mistaken thinking that they could beat Empyreal on that map. Mercado, the salty run back. R9 did eventually go out on top of them. Their pick on Expo proved to be pretty prudent as they go ahead and beat them on that one, but Empyreal from that point forward just completely took off, and it was Empyreal I was thinking that was going to win map number 5. I just really did not want to cast or curse them, and here we are, crowning them champions.
Absolutely, and I'll have to take your word for it, saying that you were predicted Empyreal. I'll tell, hey, you don't have to tell anybody, but you've been on point with your predictions today. As they're going to be queuing the whole team up for the interview. You love to see it, but Empyreal, you got to feel good, right? You go all the way this entire day. You only play 5 series, and guess what? You go home champion, $1,700. But if you're still the side of R9, granted, it's not the desire or the effect that you wanted coming in at the end. You still go home with $700. But just an absolutely incredible day of Call of Duty, and by God, Empyreal, they earned every single dollar of it.
Yep, and we will be getting the whole team in here quite soon. I always love to hear from the whole team. It's always a great little bit of banter back and forth. The teammates, you love to see the little relationships that have formed over time with these guys. And so, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as we have that interview for you, we will be right on back. You'll be very short wait, though. Once again, I was not lying to you when I said this would be a short break. Here we are with your newly crowned Lords of the Low Tiers, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, gentlemen, how does it feel to be crowned Lord of the Low Tiers?
Fantastic.
Oh, man. Oh, my God. It feels good to finally win one that, like, have some respectable people here, beat some respectable people, so we can finally get some respect on the name, you know? It feels good.
With some unknowns, too.
And it is like you said, it's gotta feel good, especially just having that huge relief off your shoulders, because when it went to a map 5, I'm sure everybody was holding their breath watching that one go down. But you guys played it so well, and I know it was those few offenses that Kamika and I were talking about, or excuse me, defenses where you guys try to get aggressive, and then after 2 times in a row, you're like, yeah, let's scrap that. We're not doing it again, and it paid off.
Absolutely. I think I just told the team, I mean, on our defense, there's no reason to be over-challenged. We just need to wait, be patient for them to make mistakes. And they kept peeking. They kept giving me free snipes. And, you know, once we got the pick, then that's when they started collapsing. They never really started challenging anything together. So I told everyone just to stay tight on defense, and then offense, I mean, we'll work picks and just get aggressive on bomb site, you know, force them to move to us. Like, that was just the goal of the whole turn. You just force them to move, force them to make mistakes.
Good teamwork.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I have a little bit of a question for all of you guys. I know that a lot of you guys have been playing in a decent amount of lands, but I don't know how many of you guys have actually won. How many? What land win is this for each of you?
1.
It's the first for Cal,
Congratulations!
Thank you.
first for DMAC, right?
Yes, sir.
Third for him,
Yeah, this guy's a good
and
shot.
technically my third too, but I don't really like the first 2. There wasn't good enough people there, but I'll take this as my first.
Fair enough. So we got a lot of first timers here, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations on your first ever land wins. And so, yeah, I mean, definitely going to be putting a lot of respect on your guys' name. Any ambitions going forward from this?
Honestly, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just I don't know what the ambitions really are, to be honest. I mean, I just hope, you know, it helps all of us, you know, get better teams moving on to, you know, more locals in the future and stuff like that, because that's kind of the hardest part when you haven't won anything, is getting the good teams to win them. But now winning something like this, I hope it kind of helps everybody here, because they all deserve it. We all played phenomenal this weekend. So, I mean, the ambition moving forward is just, I mean, keep winning, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It feels good.
Hey, couldn't agree with you more. And this gotta feel good to come away with that $1,700 split between the 4 of you for sure. I know you guys are smiling in the background, but again, congratulations on it. It is much deserved. Undefeated through the entire tournament. That's an
Yeah.
incredible feat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We honestly just now said that as we sat in here. I didn't even think
we
about
didn't
it.
really realize it.
I mean, I don't know. It's crazy for me personally, like a feeling for me, and I'm sure it's for those 2 as well. I mean,
it
I've
feels great.
never made it to a grand finals through winners in a LAN with, you know, really good competition. I'm either going to losers first round and trying to fight. So it felt good to have an advantage the whole time, and just, I don't know. I feel like it helped the confidence. I feel like it helped everybody's confidence a lot. I don't know, man. It feels good.
Hey, I was an online cheater before today.
Apparently.
And so, guys, great interview, by the way. I just want to say congratulations one last time, and I will give you guys the final word on the way out. Anything that any of you guys want to say in closing, anyone you want to call out, anyone you want to brag on, or anyone that you want to shout out?
Moms, happy Mother's Day.
Yes,
Thank
happy
you.
Mother's Day.
Mother's
Hug
Day.
your mothers. I want to say personally, everyone who said he was cheating, this guy right here, everyone said he was cheating. I don't know if I could swear, but you guys are stupid. I mean,
It's not a swear word. That's
I'm not going to swear,
Pretty
because I don't know if I can. But I mean, this guy's phenomenal. I mean, people put too much hate on his name, and obviously, and this, I mean, him too. Oh, this guy right here, yeah, DMAC.
yeah.
Everyone, people think he was cheating too. I mean, I don't know. It just feels good, not only to prove people wrong, but just come on with the first ship, you know.
he's also pretty good.
That's also pretty cool.
All you guys absolutely showed up, and once again, congratulations, and enjoy the win and get some much needed rest, because you guys have been playing Call of Duty all day.
It's been a long day.
shirt's wet.
Definitely didn't want to go to that second series, but I appreciate it.
Hey, not a problem. And like you said, congratulations and enjoy the win.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Words from the winners. And Graph, that's just a great way to end it off. Seeing the smiling looks on their faces when a lot of them just won their first wins proved a lot to people who may have been saying things about them. And I'm looking forward to see how this benefits them in the future. Because like they said, these winning lands can open up your opportunities for bigger and better things going forward.
100%. And like you said, it's a lot of these first-time lands for these other guys or these younger guys. And so to be able to prove themselves, like they said, with some competition that is equally matched across the board, it's got to feel great for them. And everybody, we want to give a big shout out to the production as well. The guys behind the scenes, in particular, Guppy, Shadow, and then I believe it's Magic or Magi. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but Magic coming on in, and not to mention a huge shout out to Cheeto putting this all together. We couldn't have done it with everybody behind the scenes. You guys are absolutely incredible.
Yep, and one final shout out to the sponsors as well. Scars Esports, Nobility Rising, Rally Esports, Underplayed, Arise GG, Galaxy Esports, and Cerberus Esports. Give a lot of love to them on your way out as well, ladies and gentlemen, because they helped facilitate this whole thing, and it could not be done without their awesome contributions. And so, if you're in a following mood, you guys can go ahead and follow Game Arena on the way out, as well as me and Graph. Our ats are right beneath our faces, so if you want to see any more of us casting for some reason, you guys can follow us there as well. Graph, anything you want to say in closing?
I just want to give a big shout out to everybody, the fans, and then the players. You guys make this environment incredible. The lands are just so energetic. It brings out, I think, the best in some of these players, and not to mention the community. It helps elevate everybody to that next level, and you love to see those guys completing their hearts out and putting everything on the line when it matters most. So give a big shout out to everybody coming on in and tuning on into this stream. But congratulations once again to the side of Empyreal, as they are now the Lord of the Lowtiers Grand Champions. They go home with $1,700 richer. My name is Graph the Giraffe, here with Kamaka, signing off for now.